Iran and the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany hold talks over Tehran's nuclear energy program. Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif sat down with his counterparts on the sidelines of the annual UN General Assembly in New York. Iran says it wants an agreement within the shortest possible time span.
The highest-level negotiations on Iran's nuclear energy program, the Foreign Minister of Iran met his counterparts from the US, Russia, China, Britain, France and Germany. The meeting marked the highest-level talks between the US and Iranian officials in decades. Iran's Zarif and the US Secretary of State also held a short bilateral discussion. The parties involved in the nuclear negotiations agreed to reach a deal within a year. They will also hold substantive talks in the Swiss city of Geneva, beginning on 15th of October. Hopes are high for future negotiations following very positive reactions from the parties.
We had a very constructive initial meeting. We hope to be able to make progress towards resolving this issue in a timely fashion based on respecting the rights of the Iranian people to nuclear technology for peaceful purposes, including enrichment, and at the same time making sure that there is no concern at the international level.
We had a constructive meeting, and I think all of us were pleased that Foreign Minister Zarif came and made a presentation to us which was very different in tone and very different in the vision that he held out.
UK Foreign Secretary William Hague told reporters that the tone and spirit of the talks with Iran were extremely good and that all parties should try to move the talks forward.
There has been agreement on detailed negotiations to take place within the next 3 weeks, and so we will all take that forward energetically in the coming weeks.
Hague's remarks were echoed by EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton and the German Foreign Minister. Iran and 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany have held many rounds of talks over the past years. Iran says it has developed nuclear technology to generate electricity for its growing population. The country is also producing nuclear isotopes for its cancer patients. Iran also wants a domestically produced nuclear fuel for its present and future power plants, saying it will safeguard energy security. The US and its Western allies claim they suspect Iran may try to develop a nuclear weapon, something Tehran has denied. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani said soon after the nuclear talks between foreign ministers in New York that his country is committed to nuclear negotiations in good faith.
We are ready to work with 5+1, its members and others, with a view to ensuring full transparency under international law surrounding our nuclear program.
Rouhani made the remarks in an address to a think tank forum in New York. The Iranian president said Iran has never been after developing a nuclear bomb because it's against the country's national interests. Rouhani reiterated that Iran seeks to rebuild bilateral and multilateral relations with countries in Europe and North America based on equality and mutual respect.
Christopher Walker is a political commentator who's with us now on the line from London. Let's hear his views on this. Now, Mr. Walker, Iran has been saying, even before President Rouhani took office, that it's not seeking nuclear weapons. And even the fatwa that was given by the Iranian leader, which was mentioned by President Obama at the UN, was given, a long time before this. So what's changing, do you think, in the international scene, and what's creating this more constructive or positive atmosphere, so to speak?
Well, there's no doubt about the atmosphere has been completely changed by the attitude shown at the UN and by the promises. I can't recall a meeting between the two sides when they've both come out and spoken so positively. There really is only one major obstacle, and that is Israel. But Israel's attempts to try and prevent the Americans and the British and others talking to the Iranians without some substantive moves from Tehran in the first place seem to have failed. I think what's particularly interesting is the speed with which both sides are approaching this. There's no foot dragging. I mean, October the 15th has already been set for the substantive talks in Geneva, and that's really, you know, only a few weeks away.
Right, and do you think, Mr. Walker, that the sanctions issue is going to be addressed and that the United States especially is willing now to remove the sanctions it's imposed on Iran?
I think there's a strong possibility that that will happen, not all at once, but progressively, if the talks do make the progress that's expected. But there is this strong lobby, right-wing lobby in America that's, of course, being supported by the Israeli Zionist lobby there, which says there must be concrete concessions. And I think that still, from the American point of view, remains slightly up in the air. You cannot live on hope alone, but if there is something to be seen, I think there will be a move on sanctions. I think everybody realizes that you can't go on imposing crippling sanctions on a nation like that. And when you've got a problem like Syria on your hands, it's so much advantageous to the West to have Iran, as it were, more on side.
Christopher Walker, political commentator, with us there on the line from London. Thank you very much.